Hello and welcome to today's episode of The Untold. For today's episode, it's all about departures, it's all about arrivals. But first, I'm your host, Abdullah Hindiani.
And I'm your host, Adil Azmi. And today, as Abdullah said, we will talk about pilots. And our guest today is Salah Zankawi. He's unlike any other pilots because he's got the personality, the fun. I'm not saying that pilots don't have it because I have the experience of interviewing Mr. Salah Zankawi, and I'm sure that today he will share some interesting information.
Hopefully, the amount of time, if you can go to our producers, private messages, the amount of time I tell them to bring people from aviation industry here, because this is a field I'm so curious about, I'm so passionate about. I've been logging flights since I could fly by my own. I love traveling, I love to hear about it. And pilots, they are like the superstars of
Yes.
the industry world. They are
Yes.
like the superheroes of the modern age. I'm so curious to talk with him, sit with him.
100%. And this field is mysterious to many people because we don't know the process of how to become a pilot and the passion of being a pilot because I'm scared to think
Yeah.
about being a. It's not that pilots is very difficult, but no, it takes a very special person to say that I want to be a pilot, I want to fly.
Yeah, before my recent travels, I was watching a couple of videos from pilots, and he said that flying is scary to people because it's one of the most unnatural things
Yes.
a person can make, right?
Yes.
We, as humans, we're not meant to be flying an airplane hundreds of tons of weight in the skies,
Yeah.
and that's why it feels so scary to people. So that's why I'm really curious to see someone who actively got into this field, who chose this field
Yes.
willingly.
Exactly. We'll talk about aviation, the secrets of aviation, and it's more safer to fly than to drive. As you know, these machines they have the technology, and today Mr. Salah Zankawi will talk to us and will tell us and tell the future pilots how it's safe and how it's beautiful.
He will do that, and for that, we are going to take a break. We'll come back where he will join us. And we're here in Liftoff because today we want to welcome our ghost, Salah Zankawi, on The Untold.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We are really glad to have you on the show to talk about your untold story of aviation. Let's talk from the beginning. Tell me about your story. When
Well,
did you first develop an interest in aviation?
I don't know. It's just looking up, I guess, and finding something that is controllably flying there. And it's not a bird, it's someone inside controlling it. I wanted to be part of this experience, And ever since I was a kid, flying is just part of something we didn't experience
Yeah.
as humans. And comics, Superman, those kind of powers that I had to acquire at one point in my life. So,
Yes.
so that pushed me sort of with wearing the S letter,
Yeah.
which is my letter.
Yeah, when you see a pilot, he is a superhero, right?
Yeah.
Abdullah?
Yeah, I think pilots are the closest thing we have to superheroes, Superman, and everything.
Well, heroes in terms of mystery.
Flying-
I mean,
flying.
I don't see them. I see their
Flying.
work.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah,
They look good as well.
I
With the hat.
I agree. Yeah. I actually, what is happening behind the curtains is what keeps this kind of like no contact with the pilot.
Yes.
Is what makes it kind of. I got a question for this guy sitting in front,
Yeah.
and I don't get the answers normally, even in normal flights.
Yeah.
So that keeps the lid on this on
It
things.
is. I'm always amazed at, pilots, at flight attendants, and people who willingly go into the air. Because my family, when we were growing up, we're not travelers a lot. So I do remember when we were reading about the Wright brothers, I was like thinking, how can someone willingly, go into the sky for the first time and take that risk?
Mm.
So I do want to ask you, you said you looked up and then you wanted to be, let's say, among the stars.
Uh,
And then how did
Wow.
your road go? How did your road take you from looking up to being actually up?
well, regarding the Wright brothers, I think they've done the right thing. Okay, so that's that. That's that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. But how did I know? I just kept on wanting to do it. I couldn't picture myself being not being a pilot. You see, there's something about flying. It's other than any other. I'm not trying to like weigh the other jobs down or anything. It's just
Yeah.
I'm just pulling focus. But the fact of the matter is, when I say, everybody says, I want to be a doctor, I want to be I want to be,
Lawyer.
you know, a lawyer, I want to be, etc. But when it comes to pilots, even surgeons, brain surgeons come up to us and say, you know, I dreamt of being a pilot. I don't know what brings these two. I mean, I think this is comorbid to call
Yeah.
flying a dream. Sorry, and flying a dream. So
It is.
I
I think because to us, flying feels so, inherently dangerous. It feels so inherently risky that
dangerous.
for people who take it, no, I mean the idea of it,
Oh,
for
yeah.
people who willingly, because I know it's one of the most, safety businesses out there, industries out there.
Yeah.
They say you are more likely to get into an accident on the way to the airport.
That
than
happened to
being-
me.
Yeah.
Yes, I wrecked
An
my mom's
accident?
car driving to the airport. Don't okay. The thing is, it's not psychological. It's genetically inherited that people, when they are used to facing dangers on ground, on the ground, because it's where they eat. It's where they work. Some people work in the sea. The tides are high. Chances you can get killed in the sea.
Yeah.
But nobody eats up there.
Yeah.
What are you going to hunt up there? I mean, it's
Yeah.
not part of a human history. And anyway,
Yes.
so when you're on an airplane unwillingly sometimes. So that's the part that scares people,
The lack of control.
the lack of control. Thank you. And the lack of history between humans and aviation. It's scary.
Yeah, there is a mystery about this profession, right? There is a mystery. Nobody knows what's going on, the process of how
Yeah.
to becoming. So tell us about the process of you going to be a pilot that people don't see actually.
Oh, the turbulence on the way,
Yeah.
so to speak. Okay. Well, okay, there's two faces to the equation when we speak about aviation. There's the ground school or the classroom, and there's the flying. The classroom, there's no prerequisite to studying aviation. I mean, we're doing metrology, we're doing performance, we're doing principles of flight. It's nothing we had in school,
It's
And there's
training. You mean-
yeah, no. The subjects, they don't have prerequisites. There's nothing
didn't
we
know that.
studied before.
So is it like
It's totally new.
I will ask you a silly question because
No, there-
you like silly questions. Is it a bachelor's degree? Is it
It's not
like 5 years?
it's a license. Can you believe it?
I think it's
It's a
by
license.
hours, right? The amount of
Yeah,
hours
it's licensed.
Yeah.
But back to your to your question is the ground school was. I mean, it threw me off guard. I mean, I'm studying subjects I've never ventured to before, and then now there's the other part where I'm flying, and there's three things to flying: navigate, aviate, and communicate. Can you do this driving a car?
Yeah.
It's hard,
Yeah.
Some people need to focus. I just want to concentrate doing it. And now you're driving three-dimensionally
Yeah.
and trying to catch up. Everything is fast. I mean, up there. So the acquired skills, not just flying the airplane, it's multitasking too.
Yes.
So this kind of, I've always asked myself when I was a student, why did I go through this? I mean, I've never expected to be that tense,
Serious, you mean?
Yes. I've at some points in my aviation studies, I've asked myself, I should have just stayed doing what I was doing.
How long it takes from going to school to really flying with the license?
To really flying with a company or just getting
No,
acquiring the license?
Let's say graduation for us.
The graduation's about 18 months to 2 years.
Yeah.
You're thinking about okay.
It's not a degree. So you said
Because
it's
it's
the
by,
license.
No,
it's by hours flown, right?
I didn't
yes,
know that.
yes. There's the required hours to do so.
Yeah.
I think the Ministry of Defense and Interior, they send already lieutenants. They are to learn how to fly. So
Yeah,
they are
it's not
completely
completely
different.
different, but
The same.
it's different in context, not in
Training, you mean?
not in training. No,
Yeah.
training is pretty similar, but the goal of training is different. You're flying commercially.
Yeah.
There's an aspect of dealing with people and company. I mean, companies. They have like certain rules and regulations you have to follow for the benefit of the company. It's not just your own, yes sir, and I'm going
Yeah.
to mission accomplished. It's not like that. Yeah.
I do want to ask you because you highlighted how studying and the training process felt more hard to you on the actual career itself. So I do want to ask you about those first moments. I do know that you have for flight school they have simulations which are more than 90% accurate and they represent everything you're going to come across. But I want to ask you, going from the simulation to the actual aircraft, how did it feel like? Did you feel a lot of more pressure? Did you feel a lot of more burden of the aircraft itself? Talk me through those.
Actually, that is a very good question. Professionalism takes you from one seat to another. When I started as a student pilot, I knew this was not real. So I can mess it up any way I want.
Yeah.
And then when I was on the airplane, no, this is the real deal, it's life and death. But as we grew into aviation, into uniform, when I go to the simulator, I sweat a lot harder than I did because I don't know how to put it in a sentence, in a useful way. It's something I felt, I feel this is real. If I can mess up here, I can mess up there.
Oh.
It's that.
So you feel the gravity of your actions.
Thank you. Yes, exactly. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah. Some people faint actually during this simulation. And
Well,
you're not qualified if you faint or not.
well, I mean, fainting
Is it the same as the one?
No, in real life, yes. But in simulator, it's not as, well, there is pressure.
Because you already know that this is a simulation?
No, the pressure of simulator is not the flying part. It's being evaluated. It's like having a gun on your head. It's like, I'm watching everything you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So that's the part where you're like, am I good enough or not? But in flying, it's a different ball game.
It is. I want to ask you about something. This year I watched a show called The Rehearsal. So I don't know if you're aware of it. So the second season, they talk about aviation, especially about the relationship between the pilot and the co-pilot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the communication process between those two individuals. And he was talking about, he mentioned one of the aircraft accidents, I think from the 80s or 70s. And then he said one of the key, moments or the deciding factor for that crash is because there was a miscommunication between the co-pilot and the pilot.
True.
And the co-pilot felt doubts, even though he, on the record, had the correct decision to make. So I want to take you, through your early processes, your early days. Whenever you had doubts during your travels, whenever you had doubts during your training season,
Yes.
How did you overcome them? How did you overtake them?
By knowing deep down inside that I'm not the only one going through this. I'm pretty sure I kept my communication to minimum, and not answering. Trying to avoid miscommunication is the best communication I had at that time when I started.
Yeah.
So it's like, I want to be inconspicuous. I don't want him to see me. I don't want to ask a silly question. Okay. So that kind of set me back a little bit until I realized that I need to ask questions. We learned through us students and early pilots, not the captains. So they knew all the tricks. They knew everything. They'd be like, they were comforting us to go forward. The captains, the training captains knew everything. They saw everything. I mean, they've been, on the seat, and they see students all the time. So that itself, they know how to calm you down and just, let you speak freely. Yes. In that sense.
And I think in the starting this journey, you 100% remember your first solo flight.
Okay.
Tell me about the experience, because I think this is the highlight.
Okay, it's the highlight of every pilot. Okay, the first solo, but not mine. It's not the first solo exactly. I'll tell you my experience. The first solo, it was like, it's confirming that I can do it. And at the back of my head, I knew I can do it. I mean, I've had my first solo before actually going to my first solo.
Yeah.
My first encounter with a big airplane that carried the Kuwaiti flag. And I'm standing down here looking up on the airplane. That was a Star Wars moment. Okay, this big ship in front of me, and I'm going to fly this. And is it real? Is this the dream I've been waiting for? And the captain was talking to us, to the group, and all I can hear was humming. No. Nothing made sense.
Yeah, you're not there. Yeah.
And then we went up, And guys, I mean, we lined up on the engines just kept going up, you know, and then just standing in front of the runway, he's like, "That's just push the power."
Yeah.
And I heard screams. I don't know if it was me or the engines, but it was the craziest moment of my life.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, I cannot forget this moment.
Yeah, I think this is I remember my first scuba diving. It's similar, but different.
Yeah, it's beneath ground. Yeah,
The opposite, quite the opposite. Yeah, yeah.
It's going below instead of above.
Yeah.
I think we will continue our questions and we will fly to know more about all about aviation and pilots. So stay with us.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to ask you about something because before the break, we gone into your experience, you know, flying the airplane, you know, for the solo for the first time and your memories. But let's take it to the opposite side of things where you flew with passengers, hundreds of passengers. So the first time you actually flew that, talk me about, you know, the emotions, the responsibility that you felt.
I don't want to kill the question or anything, but I'm pretty sure that I tried not to think about it. Let me tell you why. I mean, flying 200 tons of metal, 1,000 kilometers per hour, 35,000 feet above ground. It's like flying a towering building. I mean, it's crazy by itself. So if I have this mindset, I'm just gonna go to the passenger seat, you know. So it's like a surgeon, you know. The surgeon does it just seamlessly without thinking about the blood or anything. I don't know how he thinks. I mean, I'm not trying to, but you know, you get the picture. But at some points later, when I was flying, I really appreciated what I've done. I thought, like, what I'm doing here is something really special. I mean, I've earned my wings, really, you know.
Did you mean preparing yourself mentally? Because I think maybe some viewers who are thinking about becoming a pilot, you said you didn't think about it. Did you prepare yourself mentally of like doing what you trained for?
There is nothing that can prepare you to fly mentally. It just happens. It's like you being a soldier going to war. Nothing will prepare you. You know?
I think this is the most important thing about this interview. So during that time, speaking about stress, and you are responsible for hundreds of lives. Now, if you remember, what did you do? Like techniques? Did you breathe? Did you like?
Okay. What I felt.
In yourself?
Yes, I felt a lot of weight on my shoulders. You know, I had to outperform the responsibility. I had to push through it. It was not as easy as flying single pilot on our small airplane. It's real. But at the same time, you have professional people around you. You have the captain. So I felt like I was more guided than, you know, I knew deep in my heart that if something happens to the captain, I can resume, you know, action. But I did not want that to happen. You know?
And honestly, as a passenger, it feels more comforting, you know, hearing this, because I want my pilot to be focused on the cockpit. I don't want him focusing on us, what we're doing back there.
Yeah.
You know, I just want all the attention there. So it's really comforting to know that all the attention is right there in that room, in that where it counts the most, where it's important the most.
Look, the company or the aviation. Let's say hierarchy, they would not hand you 200 or 20 plus or 50 plus million dollars or dinars a plane and expect you to like do whatever. I mean, however you want and however you feel. Feeling is not part of the game here. So we are trained, and we have been through a lot of stress and pressure, and we've been put to the test, so to speak. It is not something you hand over to somebody. I'm not trying to dodge a bullet here or anything, but it's hard to. You have to go through what I'm trying to tell you to be in the seat, and I don't want to answer in a sense. I was not scared. I was concerned. Am I fit for the job? Am I fit for the responsibility?
It means you are fit because you are thinking about it.
Yes, I'm thinking about it. Scared is just out of the question. It is not, I know how to fly. I know how to take off. I know how to land. I know how to deal with the airplane in an emergency.
Yeah.
Alone, even if there's no one else. But do I fit look, the sense of professionalism and proficiency and efficiency, kind of, this question goes through your head every time, what should I do to get better at this? Even though you're optimal.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I hear that flying is it is the most regulated industry out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's orchestrated in a very good way.
So I think that's our moment on the Untold to assure our audiences that, you don't have anything to be scared of flying,
Yeah.
It's very risk-free.
Yes, please, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, in a car, there's a driver, one driver, and you're kind of like, watch out, that moment, even though he's good. Okay, this is instinct.
Yeah.
But on a plane, there is me, the other pilot, and the autopilot. So.
Yeah, but you painted a perfect picture when you said like how many tons the plane and how much it costs and how high it is.
Yeah, to me,
it's a huge responsibility.
It is.
Speaking of seatbelts, I think one of the happiest moments of my travels, when the turbulence was happening, one of these courageous guys, I would say, tough guys who don't wear seatbelts and they're walking through the aisle, he fell. That was the happiest. That was the happiest time of my flight.
Yes,
because I always hated when people don't put seatbelts, act like all tough
That's
guys.
why
well, he paid for his experience out of his own pocket. So.
Yeah. I have a friend who's really scared to travel at night. So let's talk about the difference between traveling daytime and night. Is there a difference with all of the technology that we have nowadays?
With technology, there is no difference between day and nighttime.
Was it different before the technology?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes. I mean, now it's called blind flying, and I'll tell you why later on. Blind flying. Well, I'll give you an example later on. But before, it used to be called visual flying. I mean, it has to be in the morning, and you have to have like landmarks to follow. But now with technology, obviously GPS right now, and everything in between visual and GPS, which I don't want to elaborate at this point, make it a longer conversation. But it's called blind flying. That means instrument flying, relying on instruments and systems on the airplane to guide you through and get you to the right place. But before, you had to use your eyes. It cannot be night flying. The weather conditions should be clear and great. So what happens if you take a pilot who's used to flying daytime, a visual pilot, to blind flying? Now that's a question I've been asked. Look, I'm used to flying blind. If daytime comes, nothing's going to change.
There's no difference.
But for the person who does not acquire his instrument rating, which is flying instruments, it's just like turning the lights in this room here, and you can't see anything. You'd be like reaching for everything. But a real blind person with a guide, he would just walk seamlessly as if he can see his way. And that is blind walking and blind flying.
Oh, okay.
So blind flying, how long you can see, actually?
There's no need to see anything.
So what do you mean by...
No. What I said is between the pilot, an example of a real blind person versus lights going out right now at this moment.
So, but how you do it as a pilot?
How do I do it? I'm trained on using the to trust the instruments. I have to trust the instruments in front of me. It's like you're trusting your phone, the GPS. To take you. If you give it the right guide and instructions, it'll take you to the place. It's pretty similar to...
Something occurred to me. Have you watched the Breaking Bad episode?
Of course.
The operator... Could you tell me about, is this real? Is this... you mean the pilot can see another plane and just crash into it? Because just the guy on land?
The plane...
is that an old system?
No. When you're flying under visual rules, you should use your eyes to spot other airplanes, but instruments, they can detect each other. The airplanes can detect each other. Right? Yes, it's it's built in.
So the episode is unreal, right? It's not real.
Some dramatic... yes and no, sort of. I mean, I cannot comment
because
on the
I have
episode.
this fear now. I have a phobia that will happen to me, especially when I am about to land. When I am
never. I fly 1,000 times more than you do. I'm not afraid of this. It
Thank
never
you so
occurred.
much. Actually, I need that. Actually,
I like my life just as the guy sitting behind.
thank you so much.
As
I
much.
hope all the pilots
I,
are like you.
I think
No.
we don't have to fear that here, especially because alhamdulillah, all of
Yeah.
our Arabic fleets have a lot of good staff. I think I've read the American Airlines had stuff with the watchtowers and everything.
Mhm.
So as long as you're not going on to America using an American aircraft, I think you're pretty
It's
good at that.
it's more rotated towards maintenance.
Yeah.
I mean, we have good maintenance record. We have very well trained pilots. Alhamdulillah. So yeah, that's yeah.
I do want to ask you about something, and this is going to be my last questions because we're running out of time.
Oh, okay.
Out of all the paths that you've taken, which path is your favorite? Like, which one, if you wake up, you see your monthly schedule and you see that one, you're going to be the happiest. You're going to be, oh, instead of a 5-hour flight, I'm going to make this 10-hour flight because I like the path so much. I
Well-
like the views. I like the
I
scenery.
don't think they.
And it's nostalgic. However much time I do it, it's London,
Oh,
Heathrow. Well, I'll tell you why. The coldness, the drizzle of rain that comes from each and every direction. I mean, umbrellas don't work in England. I'll tell you, because the rain comes from down. Okay. The other thing is the smell of the rain, the smell of jet fuel, and the smell of the kerosene and the diesel. When you open the door, and the coldness of it, it hits your nostrils every time at the right spot.
and it's
Yes.
still, like I said, it still feels nostalgic.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we need more time to have you here because we need. Unfortunately, we reached the end of this episode.
That's
I'm really enjoying every information that you told us, and especially the untold stuff that everyone needs to hear, especially from a pilot to another pilot, from the viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, honestly, whenever we have something related to aviation, I'm always intrigued by it. Like if you go into my Instagram, it's all stuff related to flying.
Oh.
So I do want to thank you. I do want to say that you really made me personally happy for you to be here with us as a guest on the Untold.
Thank you. I do want to add you.
Yes.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
I feel the hospitality, and I thank you for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We feel great, honored to have you. We're also honored for the audience to have sat with us. We hope you enjoyed this episode of The Untold. We're going to take a break. We'll come right back after this one. That's it. It's departure time from us, the team of The Untold. That's all the episode we've had, Sam.
Yes, unfortunately, today Salah Zankawi told us all about aviation, and I told him that he has the personality of a dentist. He said that he used to study dentistry. So because of his joyful smile and how really simplistic the answers is and are for us to tell, it's really amazing. And I hope we have him again to tell us his untold or the told story again.
The double untold story.
Yes.
Honestly, he was so entertaining to talk to.
Yeah.
He was so energetic. He was so filled with wisdom, a lot of assurances. I really enjoyed this. I really feel comfortable knowing that whenever you're flying, people like Salah are the ones who are in charge, right? They are the ones in control. He was a great talker. He was a great listener as well. Amazing personality.
Yes, amazing personality. This is the untold story, how to share your story with the TV, and we really appreciate every guest coming here to the show, the Untold Story. So unfortunately, we reached the end of this episode of your show, The Untold, and until next time, stay safe and goodbye.